County Subcommittee for OPWC. It is the 6th of January, so Happy New Year. 2021 will be a wonderful year, I am sure. I feel it in my bones. It is roughly 10:02, and I would like to go ahead and call this meeting to order, since we do have the 4 subcommittee members, with Lenny Eliason, County Commissioner of Athens County, Ted Linskett representing Athens Township Trustees. We also have Jeff Maiden representing the Athens County Engineer. Welcome, Jeff. And myself, Steve Patterson, Mayor of the City of Athens. Let me explain real quick the process of the subcommittee, forming the subcommittee, and then the election of the 5th officer. Several weeks ago, we sent an announcement out to all mayors in the county to see about having who would be the mayor representing the cities and villages in Athens County. And there were a few individuals who jumped on. I was nominated and accepted that nomination to represent the cities and villages within the county. The other thing that we need to do as we move forward with this meeting is to elect the 5th member, a 5th member. We have identified an individual, Bob Eichenberg, who is the acting county planner, who's here today and has served in that capacity in the past. So let me throw this open to the other 3 subcommittee members in terms of, would someone like to nominate Bob Eichenberg to be the 5th member?
I'd move we add Bob Eichenberg to the committee.
All right, and Ted, I will accept that at your hand raise as a second to that. All right, we have a first and a second. Any discussion on Bob being the 5th member? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Mayor?
Yes, Ted.
I'd just like to clarify the record there that I'm representing the Athens County Trustees Association, representing all the trustees in Athens County, as opposed to just Athens County or Athens Township.
Thank you, Ted. Mm-hmm. Duly noted, and the record will stand as such. Thank you, Ted. Mm-hmm. Next thing on our agenda, or next item on our agenda, is the election of a chair. Would someone like to nominate a chair for this committee?
I move we keep Steve as the chair.
Second.
All right, we have a first and a second. Any discussion? Any other nominees? Okay, nominations closed. All in favor signify by saying aye to have myself as the chair of the subcommittee.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye. I meant to say aye. I got interrupted there.
I thought you were going to be the one dissenter, Jeff. Okay. All right. Thank you all. Discussion of the projects. We have 7 projects. They have already been assigned points. This is before the county points, kind of as to describe the process again to anyone who's new to this. We do have the ability, and we will be going through that, to assign county points to projects: 75 points, 65 points, 55 points, and 45 points. Again, all of the projects have been scored. Hopefully everyone has had a chance to review those. I can briefly run through them for everyone. The highest, in terms of scores, the highest scoring project is the City of Nelsonville / Regional Wastewater Treatment Plant Phase 2. And for that project, what they are requesting, let me get my note here. They are requesting loan assistance and credit enhancement. And the credit enhancement, as a reminder to everybody, and thank you, Michelle Heyer, for reminding me, is that the fund applicant can request to pay off interest on a loan from the USDA, OWDA, or EPA. So that's what that is about. And so Nelsonville is requesting for this particular project the loan assistance and credit enhancement. The second highest score is the Village of Chansey street improvements that received 385 points. That project is a grant request of $149,905. Third, with a score of 375, is the Athens County 2021 Athens County paving. That particular project received a score of 375 and is looking for a grant request of $400,000. The fourth with 340 was the score, is the Trimble Township sewer collection and improvements. That too is a grant request as well as a loan request on that project. Number 5, with a score of 340, the Village of Coolville, 2021 street improvements. That project is also looking for a grant, $175,800. Number 6, with a score of 325, is the City of Athens West Side Improvement Project with a score of 325 points. That was a grant request as well. And then the Village of Gloucester 2021 street improvements, that too was a grant request for, like I said, their street improvements. With that scoring, as I mentioned, everyone should have the OPWC Round 35 Athens County score sheet that also has all the different iterations with these points, the 75, 65, 55, 45 points. Hopefully everyone has had a chance to look at those. One of the things that I believe, and as we all have done in the past, is we need to look at these and see what is going to posture these projects to put forward the best slate of projects as we look to see what we can get funded through Round 35. And at that point, I am going to open this up to discussion, and then I will chime in as we go through, because I too have kind of done my own math on looking at these different projects and the ways that we could posture at least the top 3 to be very competitive in the OPWC Round 35 process as that meeting happens. And Michelle Hires on this call or on this meeting. Michelle, the date for that meeting, can you briefly just chime in and talk about that?
Yes, I can do that. The meeting for the Round 35 Executive Committee will be on February 3rd will be the Executive Committee meeting. That will be for the final recommendations, where the committee will approve the slate of projects to forward to Ohio Public Works.
Great.
Then after that, we will then deal with the small government round. And the small government meeting will be held on March 10th. As of right now, those are all scheduled to be held via Zoom, just because we don't know what's going to happen. So, but if something would change, we would definitely let everyone know.
Great. And I should have, I apologize, I should have introduced Michelle Hire on the front end. Michelle is the District 18 liaison. She runs a tight ship with OPWC meetings, which I appreciate. So thank you, Michelle, for that quick update. I should also point out that we have Scott Frank, the city manager of Nelsonville, who's on, and we also have Donnie Stevens on with the county engineer's office with us today. So welcome, both of you. I'm going to open this up. Conversation, discussion about the best path forward for ranking the most competitive projects to move forward to the OPWC meeting.
I have a question for Michelle, if you don't mind. When you're looking at the useful life number, the score for that, and you've got a wastewater treatment plant that is a 40 for useful life. And then you have a sewer collection improvement, which drops down to a useful life is only 30. I guess I'm just questioning are those numbers accurate? And that's something that is set in stone as far as you just look it up and certain projects score certain ways, right?
Actually, there is no scoring for useful life. The useful life that you are seeing on the spreadsheet, that is the certified useful life that is provided by the engineer on what that project will be. So,
but that doesn't factor into the scoring then, is what you're saying?
No, sir. No.
Okay.
One thing with the discussion, loan enhancement money, which the Nelsonville project is requesting. How many applicants are there at the present for loan enhancement money?
Putting me on the spot, Lenny. I want to say there's only one.
That's Nelsonville?
Yes. Don't hold me to that just yet.
Okay. They should more than likely, no matter where they would get from a county points perspective, rank high enough to get that loan enhancement money. So we should be looking at the other projects that are looking for grant money, because the primary cutoff is the grant money that we're ranking.
Yes. Yes. I can tell you that loan enhancement, they are not the only one who has requested loan enhancement only dollars. But what I can tell you is that right now, with the entire slate of projects, the highest score is 415 before county subcommittee points. So that kind of answers your question, Lenny.
Okay.
It does answer the question. Let me say this real quick, Lenny. Sorry not to interrupt you. Michelle Heyer had asked a couple days ago is to be a fly on the wall for this meeting. Michelle, I know that you are now being put to the fore with a lot of questions. So
no problem at all. It's okay. No problem at all.
All right. So given that, Lenny, not to put words in your mouth as to what you were thinking, and maybe we're of a similar ilk here, I had been thinking basically of one approach would be to kind of go with the point assignments. Let me back up a step. As we're looking at the Trimble Township Water Treatment District Sewer Collection Project, which had it scored at 340. If we're looking at last year's cutoff, which was 435 points, and given what the information Michelle just gave us about the highest ranking score, well, it kind of changes the dynamic with that number 4 project in this mix when we're assigning points.
Mr. Mayor, respectfully, was the cutoff 435? My records indicate 395 for the cutoff last year. Would Michelle verify that?
Actually, Mayor and Michael, the cutoff last year was 440 after county subcommittee points.
Right. I was looking at round 29. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Michelle, I was looking at round 29. I looked at the first one. Yes. Yeah. 440 was the cutoff last year.
Yeah.
There was an issue last year. Remember, the initial scoring was wrong. It was based on, I can't remember, but it came out of Columbus. And so that came out real low like that. Michael, you've got a sheet that was, it looked like all these projects would be funded. There was a problem. They came back and that went way up.
No, it wasn't the scoring that was not correct. It was the funding amount that was provided to the district that was incorrect.
Right.
The scoring was fine.
Exactly. But what I mean is it went way down like that. It was in 8 years, I've never seen anything close to that.
Yeah.
Low level.
And just for you guys to keep in mind as well, there was a new factor. Well, and not a new factor, but there was a new number added to a factor this previous round that provided additional 10 points for anyone who was not applying new fees to a project. So keep in mind with that new criterion in there, the score could really be a cutoff of 450.
Right.
So just keep that in mind as well, okay?
That was the user fee. That was on a new sheet.
Correct.
And that was only, so I noticed we got 30 on that, but some of the other applications got 40. And we don't have any user fee associated with our project. We talked about that. You sent me an email on that.
Okay.
But yeah, so we probably should have had 10 points more maybe. I looked at that this morning.
Well, I mean, I look at 49 of them. You should have called me, Jeff, during the cure
I
period.
just realized that, last night when I was looking at it. But okay, it doesn't matter. It is what it is.
Let me real quick, for anyone who doesn't have this in front of them, round 29, which that was my error, thank you, Michelle, was 435. Round 30 was 435. Round 31, 437. Round 32, 435. And then 33 and 34, round 33 and 34 were 440. So that was the cutoff. So we're looking at, if you look at the trend and you believe in those trends, my suggestion to the group is that we continue to look at the potential of the cutoff being 440 and possibly higher, possibly lower, but there's where we stand.
I think what Michelle's saying, what the history's been is the tenant, you can see how it continues to increase every year with additional 10 points. There's a good chance it could be 450 this year.
Right.
So I think I've talked to some of you about it, but the only real fundable projects are the top three. I don't really know the difference between loan assistance, credit enhancement versus loan request on the sheet. I'm assuming that's just a loan from a different fund or something.
The difference is the loan that is actually shown on the sheet is loan funds that the community applicant would pay back. The credit enhancement loan assistance, the money that we would use to pay for interest on an existing loan, that is actually a grant to the communities. It's not a loan for them, it's a grant.
Does it come out of, I know you got two different pots. You got does it come out of the LTIP or
SKIP?
The SKIP money, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure which one that came out of.
Yes.
Okay, so in my mind, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, really, but I don't know what other people see. We got a great potential. We should get 3 projects funded this year. I don't know if we've ever gotten 3 projects funded in 8 years that I've been here. It looks like we're in excellent position to do that.
Well, and Jeff, to your point that it could go up, I mean, I would be a little more conservative, if you will, in terms of the increase in points. If we're looking at usually an increment of 5 that it's going up, and if even if it went to 445, my suggestion would be that the top rank project, the city of Nelsonville, received the 55 points. The city of Chansey received the 65 points, which would put it at 450, and then the 75 points being awarded to Athens County, which too would be 450 points, and posturing all 4 of them, as you just indicated, to position well scoring wise.
Yeah, all 3 should get funded. I can't imagine they won't with that scenario.
Well, you never know, because last year the funding was less than we thought, and so we had to adjust that line, as you're well aware.
Yeah, yeah. Been through it a couple times. So I guess the issue in my mind is the 4th. Who do you award the 4th project to? I know that you have other grant programs, and I don't know if that comes into play with, I don't know. I agree with you, Steve. I'll say it that way. I don't know with your assessment.
Well, I think it's good to remind individuals that, and hopefully there's funding available for small governments, Michelle, as we move forward, because some of these projects that don't make this cut may be eligible for small government.
Yes, Mayor, that's correct. The Village of Coolville and the Village of Gloucester, they would be able to compete for small government funding because the small government funding is for any community that has a population of 5,000 or less. Trimble Township, because it is a wastewater district, they would not be able to apply for small government. And of course, the city of Athens would not be able to apply either.
Well, I'm sitting here looking at and trying to figure out a way that we could help Trimble Township with their sewer project because they would not be eligible for small government funds. And it's tougher and tougher for them to get that kind of, to be competitive in that, and try to get their work done. But it does look like it would be hard to do that, wouldn't it? And with that being said, I think I've always gone onto this committee thinking that I wanted to put my countywide hat on and think countywide with a small look at how does it affect the townships countywide. Now I think that's my job, and that's the reason why I'm on here. But ultimately, I want to think countywide and bring as much of this money back to Athens County that we possibly can. And I got to agree with your Mayor, your synopsis there. I don't see any other way of doing it.
Any other comments from the subcommittee? Anything from you, Bob?
No, that was my thinking too, Mayor. And I just want to add, I'm glad to see Chansey in the running there because of the Bailey system and all the things they're going to be faced with over the coming years. It's nice to see them competitive and get some help.
So run the rankings again, Steve, just to make sure we got them right.
I will do that, Lenny. So we would assign 55 points to the Nelsonville project, which would give them 470 points. 65 points would then go to the Village of Chansey, giving them 450 points. Am I doing that correctly?
Yes.
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 And then the 75 points would go to the Athens County paving project. And that would give them 450 points.
Okay.
Does that sound good to you, Lenny?
Yep, I'm good with that. I'll make a motion, we adopt that scoring.
I'll second.
I would like to open it up for some discussion because we do have the mayor and the city manager, and we have Michael here as well. I want to open it up to you, offer you the opportunity to speak on this, unless there's anybody on the subcommittee that wants to speak more on the ranking. Okay.
This is Michael Betts. And thank you for the support of the Nelsonville project. That's a critical project for the area, and we really appreciate that. Secondly, do you have a fourth place rank to yet assign? And I know it's kind of a lost cause here maybe, but does it make sense to give it to Trimble Township with the hope that in case something happens with the scoring like it has in the past, they may have a shot since they do not qualify for small government funding?
Well, let me ask another qualifier. Yeah, I agree. We have two that are at the 300, currently at the 340 points. And if we were to grant the 45 points and put them both at 385, Michelle, does this scoring do anything when someone is applying for small government? And I know that Trimble can't apply for that, but the Village of Coolville could.
No, the points don't have anything to do with small government. You completely start over, same application with the availability to revise that application if you need to fit the small government criteria, but your points that you get in the regular round has nothing to do with small government.
I would add that The useful life of the Trimble project is 30 years. I just looked at it, and the useful life of the Coolville project is 15 years. And I've seen projects moved above the line because of useful life. So that extra useful life, the aggregate for the district has to be, 20 years, I think? The weighted average, Michelle?
25.
25. So your normal paving projects at 15 years, 10 years, 7 years don't contribute to the 25. I mean, they contribute the dollar amount times the useful life, and then you do that weighted average. But that extra useful life that's the one project that could get moved above the line, I guess, depending upon how many of those projects you have. So it makes sense from that perspective, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
To me, what makes sense is pretty simple. It's just that I believe that the village of Coolville will be eligible for small government funds, and Trimble Township would not. And just looking at that factor alone makes sense to me that it would go to the sewer district of Trimble Township.
Let me, not to bog this down, and that's not my intent. I mean, there is another iteration, and this would be just kind of a Hail Mary pass, would be 45 points to Nelsonville, giving them 460, 65 points to the Chansey project, 75 points to the Athens County paving, and then 55 points to the Trimble Township Sewer District project, which would give them 395. But that, I don't know how that's going to help, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't know that it would.
I think we just give them the 45 points. That gives them a total rank to 4. So I'll amend my motion to do that. I don't think 10 points is going to make any difference.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And it's not as risky. I mean, the other is you're getting into a riskier category there.
Yeah, the money's coming out of two different pots of money. So how the projects line up in the district within the different, the different LTIP versus SKIP funds, and, loan and grant, loan plus grant versus grant only, and all that. I think it's much. I agree with Bob.
I absolutely support and appreciate the mayor thinking and trying to do more with less, like we all do. But I had got to agree with Bob that I think that'd be the way to go.
So Lenny has an amendment on the floor, and that is to have the 45 points, correct me if I'm wrong, Lenny, assigned to the Trimble Township Water District. Is that correct, Lenny?
Correct.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I do.
The second from Ted Linscott.
Yeah, Ted Linscott.
Again, I'll reopen it for any conversation on our ranking of these projects.
I would just like to take a second. By the way, I'm Amy Renner, Mayor of Chansey. I just wanted to thank you all, the committee, for including Chansey on this one. This is the strongest application that I think we will have ever been able to put out for the foreseeable future. So it was kind of now or never for us. So we appreciate it.
Good selection on your engineer there too. I reviewed your application. You did a good job.
I appreciate your help, Jeff. It was needed.
They'll do a great job. Good choice.
Thank you, Mayor Renner. Any other comments? Right.
Again, this is Michael Betts, and again, I just want to thank you. This was a pretty well-run meeting, given the times here in the virtual. And Melissa Tremblay and Chuck Swackhammer from the Sewer District came over to join me today, and I wanted to just let you know they were here and introduce them. And thanks again.
Well, it's nice meeting you both. Thanks for being here. Let's vote. All in favor for Lenny's amended motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Wonderful. This has been said a couple times. I just want to reiterate this. we have such a fantastic county, and I love the fact that we are all working together on these. I mean, there's a lot of great projects. I have traveled this county like a lot of you have and seen a lot of what's going on and the needs that are here. I'm with you, Jeff, to where I think it's fantastic that this is the first time since I have been mayor and being on the executive committee. When we look at these, this is the first time that I recall having this many projects that are highly promising to go forward. And it's because of all of you. I mean, this is who we are. So keep your fingers crossed. Michelle, I'm going to be pounding on this one, with decorum. But I feel pretty happy about being able to represent Athens County with these projects. These are great projects, as they all are.
Hey, Mayor, take a picture of me and you'll never forget what the name of that mural is.
Don't worry, it's ingrained. Without labor, nothing happens. Nothing prospers.
Yes, sir.
Nothing happens either.
Thank you, guys.
All right. I get a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, whichever way you want to go.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.